coughing,
sneezing,
throatache,
headache,
breathing difficulty,
nausea,
weakness,
dizziness,
asthma,
loss of consciousness.
etc. Do you experience the same?
Then welcome to Delhi.
I'm Aarushi, 22, an environmentalist in progress, and I resided in Delhi.
I'm Vivek, 22, an artist, and I migrated to Delhi.
I was born in Delhi and spent 20 years of my life there. Delhi is fun, a city of youth and joy, and a pack of diversity, be it culture, heritage, food, festivals, and even clothing. Indeed, there is no doubt why Delhi is the capital of India, but it is also ill-famed for its bad rising air quality and pollution levels. So Delhi was home to my paternal grandparents and so for my father since the beginning. Thus they adapted to the changing environmental conditions of the city, but that took a toll on me, through which I inherited asthma and legacy. When I start to recall my earliest memories of Delhi, that still chokes my chest. Diwali. Diwali is one of the biggest celebrated festival in North India, and according to me that is the main reason that I consider of air pollution every year in the city. It was hard for me to even survive those smokily packed walls as I avoided outdoors on Diwali in particular. I saw small children coughing and burning crackers, and few smaller than them couldn't grasp for air and rather cried. It was really a tough time for me. I can't say that Diwali is the only culprit, but let's not fool ourselves and look around what the hell we have created around ourselves. I perfectly remember that I demanded to my family that let's get settled in somewhere green and let's get out of Delhi, and I'm glad that we did, but not yet so far. The imprints of Delhi still travel with me. The earliest memory of Delhi is still fresh in my head. Taking a school bus in a summer morning of April, carrying an inhaler, walking slowly and talking with big pauses to inhale good amount of oxygen. And at the end of the day, rushing back to home to clear my dusty nostril, drinking lots of water and grabbing my nebulizer to get my breathing stabilized. I remember playing was a tough job for me. I couldn't run so much. I couldn't choose staircase, rather use lifts. I couldn't wear fitted clothes as if it felt like it'll suffocate me to death. And April has always been a doom's month of a year for me. As with the growing age, the severity of asthma was also increasing, which never let my immune system to be strong to tackle the irritants. One morning when I gasped for air, I couldn't get back to normal breathing. My heart was pumping fast, less of oxygen blood led to unconsciousness, and I was rushed to hospital. April has always made me breathless and unconscious. I was hospitalized for several days, been under nebulizer treatment and on high-dose antibiotics. Soon after that incident, I realized that I developed a dust and a pollen allergy, as the April falls under the harvesting season and the pollen remains in the air. It lasts in the air. With years passing by, I started to learn about my condition and started to develop a combating plan for it. Gradually, my immune system started to get stronger due to my lifestyle pattern. But still I curse the air that I breathe because it still chokes me to death every April.
Good old days. I still remember the feeling, the joy, especially receiving the tag of a college student. The happy feeling of moving to the capital city, starting a new life, meeting new people, a completely different environment, different culture, different food, different time frames throughout the day. For example, Navratri. I come from Assam. There we celebrate the last 5 days of Navratri and even call it by a different name, be it Durga Puja or Pujo, whatever, it's the same thing. It was fun, blending into a different lifestyle, learning every day, learning everything possible, observing. If you ask me what's so fascinating about it, for me it was experiencing everything live. Like what I used to see on television while growing up, now I was actually experiencing them right in front of my eyes. Be it the famous monuments, या फिर दिल्ली की street food, the crowd, or the dramatic climate. Yes, the dynamic temperatures. It was really a climate shock for me rather than the cultural one. In summers, the temperature used to climb up to 45 degrees centigrade. People covering themselves from top to bottom, covering their nose using air filters. The loo factor, people dying because of breathing toxic air. And as the year passes by, the temperature starts to go down and smog joins the party. Smoke mixed with fog, leading high level of air pollution, that is number one. Low level of visibility, eventually leading to road accidents. And number three, the stagnant state of pollutants in the air which are not ready to go away. Delhi feels like a furnace to me. Every pollutant gets trapped in here due to its topography. You know, it's not just about me, that I come from a place which is more green. It is not a good feeling. Not able to breathe. It's not at all a good feeling. The very first evidence of you being alive, it's self-breathing. We humans, we are actually the root cause of the problems that we are facing today. We live in an environment where there is no fresh air to breathe. And on top of that, the life expectancy has also declined due to the current state of air pollution. I'll read a report. According to the global study released, the average lifespan of a South Asian child has shortened by 2.5 years, while globally the reduction stands at 20 months.
Did you know, according to a report released by University of Chicago's Energy Policy Institute, if the air pollution levels adhere to the WHO standards, then a typical Delhiite would live 10 years longer.
These are the facts that itches me a lot. We all know these situations can be taken care of. This is not rocket science. We just have to take our responsibilities much more seriously.
Also, we should not deny the fact that the government and responsible authorities are doing their part. But a question may arise. Why the environment is not on anyone's political agenda? Why has it not been much prioritized over the other issues? Maybe we have not demanded for our right yet, or maybe we have not even recognized air pollution as a problem around us.
Things need to change in a right direction.
Every child cannot demand their parents to shift miles away from Delhi. Running was never a solution and it will never be. If we have a potential to create a problem, we definitely have a great amount of potential to generate a solution from within.
We must train our present generation, make them aware of such serious and deadly environmental issues, encourage them to brainstorm and find a solution, sensitize them to the environmental problems, and impart environmental study as the basic branch of study.
Because no child would like to inherit as the mind legacy, rather a good sense of citizen science.
Let's awake the citizen science and demand for fresh air. Enough of saying for a better tomorrow.
The time is now for a better today.